When asked about his life's journey, John Scotford says that after graduating from Whitworth in 1951, he considered the ministry and medicine, but after serving in the U.S. Air Force, he instead began working at Boeing. He moved his family to Ohio in 1957. I became a Volkswagen dealer in 1962, and things took off from there, he says. Eventually, I got into the Perkins Pancake restaurant business and also purchased a Chevrolet dealership. I then became involved in real estate and other business ventures. John's life as a business leader actually began at Whitworth, where his first mentor was Mark Kaler, a man who, John says, showed me a great example of what a leader is. Eventually, John would become trustee at his alma mater. He calls his time on the board the years that taught me the true excellence of Whitworth as an educational institution founded upon traditional Christian values. Others characterize John's years on the board as a time of extraordinary change and growth at Whitworth, change that John would help to spur. John Scotford's real gift, says his son Steve, is telling people what they don't want to hear. He's not afraid to tell the truth, no matter how unpopular it may be. It's a gift, because when he talks to you, it's with a twinkle in his eye and a smile on his face, and you can't help but like the guy, even though he has said exactly what you didn't want to hear. Whitworth President Emeritus Bill Robinson concurs. I never lost track of John in a board meeting, Bill says. I couldn't afford to. He would start leaning forward and a wince would crease his face as if he were having some kind of gastronomical issue. The wince would soon become a full-on facial contortion. I'd act like I didn't see him, which mattered not one bit. He'd just start blazing. Bill, he'd say, stretching my name into 3 syllables. I'm sorry, I'm just a dumb car salesman, but... And whatever followed that but was always spot on. John's fierce love for Whitworth and his laser beam business savvy created a force that made it impossible for him to sit still if we got lazy or wayward in our thinking. He'd refuse to let that happen. And that was as valuable to Whitworth as the millions of dollars he and Judy gave with such generosity and joy. John's enduring legacy as an alumnus, benefactor, and trustee is surely his uncanny ability to envision a brighter future for Whitworth. If he is anything, John Scotford is a visionary, his son says. He sees a thing not for what it is, but for what it can become. That's part of his genius in business, as well as his motivation for a lifetime of philanthropy. And I think this was the driving force behind his love of Whitworth. He always knew what it could become. Today, it is virtually in every way the institution he envisioned during his years of service on the Board of Trustees. Former Vice President for Institutional Advancement Christy Burns agrees. Quote, when others at Whitworth couldn't imagine beautiful athletic fields, John could, she says. John suggested the entrance monument on the west side of campus. John envisioned remodeling buildings and increasing classroom space. He envisioned new tennis courts with a bubble that could help us attract top-notch tennis players. He knew it was important to purchase property on the perimeter of the campus. He even understood the importance of having our parking lots look good. Whitworth's grounds, property, and athletic facilities are beautiful today because of John's vision, which, Christy says, is grounded in his love for Christ and Whitworth, and John is loved by all of us in the Whitworth family.